Hey guys, Brian Haratsky here. I just wanted to talk about the news coming out of the Baltimore Orioles organization today, and that is that David Hernandez will be the fifth starter for the Baltimore Orioles to start the 2010 season. It shouldn't come as a surprise. David Hernandez has pitched phenomenally this spring. He's worked on his control, which was his Achilles heel last season. That and pitching up in the strike zone way too much. He has a very lively fastball. It's been described to have late life. He can pitches in the mid 90s, and it's really hard to hit. But sometimes when he was just throwing it up at the top of the strike zone, which is where the hitters usually like it, and he wasn't always pitching with that much control, so he was walking a lot of guys, and with that combination, it didn't work out for him last season. He had a high 5 I think 8 ERA last year, and it wasn't acceptable. But let's just hope he worked on his stuff. I mean, he's still a young prospect. He has a lot of potential. Coming into the spring training, they were looking at him to see if he might have been a bullpen guy, maybe a long reliever, maybe even a potential late inning relief. But he won the starting job. He was battling with Chris Tillman this season or this spring training, I should say, and he won it upright. And coming in, I'm surprised because Chris Tillman was and I should still say is, he's a pretty young guy. I think he might only be 22, 23. And he has just about, if not more potential than David Hernandez. He's been looked at as I think a second starter in a five-man rotation. Chris Tillman don't be surprised to see him this season, especially if Guthrie comes out and he continues to do this stuff that he's been doing. Don't worry, you'll see Chris Tillman eventually this season, and there's always injuries, but David Hernandez beat him out for the fifth starter job, and we should congratulate him. Chris Tillman, he's been working on a cutter recently that he started. And he's been working on it all spring training. He said that he thinks that if he didn't use a cutter, that maybe he would have had a better spring. And his spring was nothing to laugh at either. He had a 3.80 ERA, so in my books that's above average, and it's better than a lot of the other pitchers that we have on the team. But the other pitchers are proven guys that we know what they can give us, and if they don't give it to them, if guys like Guthrie come out and they're not pitching well, yeah, you're going to see Chris Tillman. Don't worry about it. I'm confident that we're going to see him this year. And if he has that added cutter and he can control it and use all his pitches, which is a top of what was made him a top prospect before, he could be a very good shutdown pitcher. Again, with David Hernandez, since this should be about him, but talking about the guy that got sent down today, Chris Tillman, a little bit too much. But again, I think it's a wait and see for me with David Hernandez. I saw what he did last season. I wasn't too impressed. I don't like it when guys usually use a four-seam fastball as their primary pitch. But I think he started working on some more moving stuff, maybe a two-seamer. I'm not completely positive on that, but if he is, then I'm all for it. I know Tillman, going back to Chris Tillman, I know he got sent down, but he came up and he was the same way. Four-seam fastball, four-seam fastball, four-seam fastball, and he would be like, I'll use a changeup and a curveball as my secondary pitches. I don't like that. I don't like fly ball pitchers, mainly because compared to a ground ball pitcher, if they if the ground ball pitchers get hit hard, it's usually a single or maybe even a double. If a fly ball pitcher gets hit, it's only a little bit farther for a home run. And I don't like that because you'll see a lot of fly ball pitchers give up a lot of home runs, and it's a hard way to win giving up a lot of home runs. But this was my big announcement. I shouldn't say it's my big announcement. I didn't break the story. I read it from different sources. But David Hernandez is the Orioles' 2010 fifth starter to start the season. So congratulations, David. Thank you.